Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Apocalyptic Optimath channel, and if it's your first time joining, welcome. I am the Apocalyptic Optimath, and if it's your first time viewing these videos, then you must know that I am a god, and I specialize in creating more gods. Um, so. So basically, everything that you hear on this channel is going to help you evolve. It's going to give you a different perspective on things, a different outlook on life, and we do a little bit of motivation too. We be motivating a little bit too, man. I feel people need a lot of motivation nowadays because a lot of people want to be Illuminati, bro. And I feel like it's because they don't have any motivation. I feel that their motivation is low, and if it's your first time joining my channel, mind you, I'm not speaking from a place where I just because I look like I'm not doing much, more or less speaking. um you know I'm not on my game. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not on my game. um but you have to understand, I was running multiple businesses, very not long ago, and things like that. And then the Illuminati decided to to do some kind of setup on me where and things like that. So I still believe in entrepreneurship. I still believe in high value things, and high value personality, entrepreneurship, and everything like that, um so we do try to motivate, and like I said, I'm speaking from experience. I feel like people need this motivation. They need to stop running for the hills, and this hill being the Illuminati, because that's not where you need to go. That's not where you need to go. You need to stop taking these people seriously, man. Like, they might be funny, they might be talented, but they're not serious people, man. Like, they're not. And that's the main thing about the Illuminati is to make you lose yourself. The main purpose of the Illuminati is to make you lose yourself, right? So every time somebody goes over there and becomes Illuminati, they win, not because they have more people with them. Because at the end of the day, the Illuminati is the devil, right? Like, the Illuminati is the devil. The Illuminati is Satan, right? In the classical traditional sense, right? The literature romanticized version of derogatory version of Satan. That's what they do, right? That's their whole shebang. That's their job. Their job is to make you believe bullshit. Their job is to make you believe nonsense and to corrupt your soul and to make you lose yourself, which they're very successful at doing. Because at the end of the day, even the general masses, or it's not just the people that are over there, it's also the general masses that are brainwashed by these people. And you have regular general people walking around repeating Illuminati narratives to other people and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like the world right now needs a little bit of motivation. It's imperative, actually. It's imperative. It has never become so important to self motivate, man. Because at the end of the day, you're better than that, right? You're better than the Illuminati. You might not know it, you might not be aware of it, you might not feel that that's the case, but at the end of the day, you're better than the Illuminati. Everybody's better than the Illuminati. As soon as you're born human, as soon as you're born, you're right off the bat, you're better than the Illuminati. So, but nobody tells you that. Nobody makes you feel that way. People tend to do the opposite. People try to make you feel bad. People try to make you feel like you're less than others. Like me, the Illuminati is always trying to talk shit about me and ruin my reputation. Because they ain't shit. And they know that I'm more powerful than them, right? So since I'm more powerful than them, they have to go get thousands of people, the trillions of people, no pun intended, no offense, man, but it's facts. They have to go get a bunch of people to come and try and talk shit about me because they ain't shit, So, and not only that, but I'm out here waking up people's minds. I'm making these videos, and these videos are very powerful. They have very powerful content. There's a lot of powerful things in there that will make you powerful also, where you won't need to think that you need a thing like the Illuminati to survive. I mean, I'm not saying that having a little help is a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. But, the help that these guys give you is not worth it. You know what I mean? So the thing about like some people, some higher intellect people might be like, yeah, but everything you're saying is cool, but you need to sacrifice too. You know what I mean? Like you need to sacrifice something to get some. Look, you can sacrifice people without killing them. You can sacrifice people without killing them. Like I said, like the Illuminati takes things. The Illuminati is like the devil. The Illuminati takes things from God, me. They take things from God and they pervert it, right? So if the Illuminati is talking about sex, that they're trying to, steer people away from sex in some shape or form. I've seen some shit that are kind of weird, recently. So, if they're talking about sex, they're trying to get you away from sex. If they talk about, because at the end of the day, the Illuminati wants you to believe in God. Okay, it's imperative for them that you believe in God, because God is also going to remove your power, right? Like God is also going to remove your power. I know you don't agree. I know you disagree with this, but if you think about it, like, because never mind. I'll make another video explaining that. I'm not, because I already did make videos explaining this a lot. So my last videos is about that. So the Illuminati wants you to believe in God so that you lose your power, right? So because at the end of the day, everything that is has always been. So your lust, your sinful ways, whatever you want to call those things, they've always been there. The point is, the thing about the devil, and the thing about me, and this Catholic God, because at the end of the day, Christians, the reason why I emphasis on Catholics and never Christians, because I believe Christians will end up being Luciferians one way or another. I think following Jesus is going to lead you to Lucifer at some point. And if it doesn't, it's because you missed the point. So when we're talking about the Catholic God and me, the devil, you have to understand that the difference between the two is like God makes those things bad and make you feel like shit for doing, well, he hopes that you feel like shit for doing those things, and then you have to repent, and then you're gonna waste time believing in him and trying to find him and wasting your fucking time because it's pointless and you're not gonna get anything or see anything or have anything, right? And the difference between me, which is Lucifer, or the devil, whatever you want to call me, I don't tell you that those things are bad. I show you how to proceed, how to walk within those things. This is the biggest difference between the two, right? Like God is going to tell you that's straight up bad. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm going to show you how to navigate through it, which is different. That's the biggest difference, right? So the Illuminati is gonna, try to make lust look bad, or they're gonna shine a bad light on it, and that's going to make you, and they're doing it on purpose so you can be disgusted by it, especially if the Illuminati be saying shit. It's kind of gross, because they fucking babies and shit like that, so it's kind of gross already there. So you're not going to follow down that path, which is on purpose, and that's what they want to do it on purpose. They know that you're going to go towards God because they want you to go towards God. That's their job. That's what they do. That's why they get paid. That's why they get paid the big bucks, right? So, it's like this guy 607 Unk. I think I mean, like, the guy's funny. I don't hate him. I think he's funny. I think he's hilarious. I roll on the ground laughing, but at the end of the day, he's still doing his Illuminati job, right? He's still doing his Illuminati job. He's trying to deter people away from things, So, they try to control us. They try to mess with our minds, and we need to be more motivated. We need to believe in ourselves more, because the thing, at the end of the day, if you believe in God, is because you don't believe in yourself. And at the end, and it's weird to say this, because it's such a blanketed statement, and it's such a mundane statement too. At the same time, it's such a monotone statement, right? It's something that we take for granted. Saying that you don't believe in yourself is a statement that we take for granted, because we don't even understand how powerful that statement is, and because at the end of the day, you're going to talk to a religious person, and he's going to be like, I believe in God, and they're going to ask, oh, but do you believe in yourself? He's going to say, of course. Okay, so now you're going to ask him, well, but if you believe in God, how much do you, so the other question is, how much do you believe in God, and how much do you believe in yourself, right? And I don't think people can answer this question easily. I'm pretty sure some people could answer that question, but I'm pretty sure that's the type of question that's going to uproot a lot of different answers from different people, because, like I said, it's not something that we think about. It's not something we spend time thinking about. It's something we take for granted. Like, let's say somebody's at the basketball game and he's not scoring, then the coach will be like, believe in yourself, it's a blanket statement, right, that we don't necessarily take seriously. But if you take that statement seriously, and you start thinking, well, shit, I mean, I do give a lot of time to God, so how much time do I give to myself? And at the end of the day, this is where the horrible factor comes in, and you guys might not agree with it, but it is a horrible factor, because at the end of the day, you got to realize, if you sitting there asking yourself that fucking question, then you already know that God is a bad person, because God is not spending time trying to make you believe in yourself. God is not spending time building you up to become something. He just wants your attention, right? He just asks you for prayer, and just give yourself to me, blah, 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 goggly goop. No pun intended, no offense meant, but that's what it is. It's goggly goop, man. You're giving your soul to God. You're giving your spirit to God. You relinquish everything that happens to you. You literally say in your prayer that you relinquish everything. You put everything in God's hands, bro. So where do you come in as a person? Where do you come in as a person? Because all that shit is fine, and it sounds great, and it sounds sweet and fancy, but where do you come in? What's your story? When do you get to have what you're supposed to have, right? Like when like whatever that thing is, but it's not even about material things. It's just your inner self. Where are you in this story? Because you're sitting there, you're saying, I give my spirit to the Lord. Okay, that's one thing. Then you're like, I give my soul to the Lord. Okay, that's the second thing. Those are two big things. By the way, giving your spirit to another spirit is a pretty big deal. You don't call it a baptism for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, they don't call it a baptism for nothing. So you're giving your spirit to God. Okay, fine. It's God. Whatever. Who cares? You know, it's not a demon. It's not some, the indigenous God Lord thing from I don't know where. Okay, so whatever, right? So I'm not removing a point. I'm giving you a point right there. So you give your spirit to God, even though I feel like it's a pretty big deal and that's pretty bad. But you give your spirit to God. Okay, fine. Right, and then you give your soul to God. That's another big piece of yourself that you're giving up to a spirit, right? So and then you relinquish everything that happens in your life, the good and the bad, to God too. So everything, you just attributed everything that happened to your life to a spirit, everything, right? You know, okay, fine. That's three major things, but at the end of those three major things, that comprises who you are, because you are a trinity, right? You are the son. You're the son, followed by the Father, followed by Spirit, right? So you're giving these things up to Him, and that's great. So you gave everything to Him. You basically give everything to God. You even say it. You give everything to God, right? So where are you? What's left of you? Because we sitting there, like, me personally, I believe that a lot of religious people are NPCs. I think God creates NPCs. I think God creates NPCs because you're an NPC now. You're a non-playable character. You're not part of a party. You're not going on the adventure because you give everything to God. So what's left of you? What's in you? You gave everything up. So if you do go on an adventure with me, let's say we go rock climbing. We just climbed a mountain. Both of us did the whole thing. 20 minutes. Gigantic mountain. It was fun. We had a good time. We sat on top of the mountain, cracked open a beer or some tea, looked at the horizon. And when you're done doing that, what you gonna tell me? All this, and then I ask you, man, do you feel good about yourself? And then you're gonna answer, I don't feel good about myself. This is all thanks to God. Okay, fair enough. But you climbed the mountain with me, though. I mean, you could have said no. You could have stayed at home. You could have did anything. But you still climbed the mountain, right? Yeah, you're like, yeah, of course. You were there. I was there. We both climbed the mountain. Okay, but the thing I'm saying is, you said you give everything to God, bro. Like, I mean, you could have died. I mean, you know, we got safety harnesses and everything, but technically, I mean, think about it for 2 seconds. I mean, rock climbing is pretty fucking dangerous. You could have died, you know, and it's kind of like, so you're telling me that you climbing this mountain with me has nothing to do with any of us. That you're basically saying that we don't exist and we didn't climb this mountain together. That everything that we're doing right now, even drinking this tea or drinking this beer, or whatever people drink after climbing the mountain, I don't know because I don't climb mountains. Well, I haven't climbed a mountain in a long ass time. I ain't gonna lie. But I used to like climbing when I was a kid. But I stopped. But it's not that I stopped. I just, you know, was interested in other things, so I kind of stopped climbing. But I like climbing. It's fun. I like climbing. But I haven't done rock climbing in ages, since I was a teenager, man. Maybe once when I was a young adult, and that's pretty much it. And that was the last time ever, which is regrettable. And I always wanted to go back and do some do some more climbing, but I just haven't taken the time to do so. Anyway, um, so yeah, so back to what I was saying. I don't know what you guys drink when you finish climbing the mountain. Maybe water or whatever. I know some people like bring chairs and shit. Like I know people like brings chairs and stuff, and they like sit there and make videos and blah blah. And so anyway, um, so you're saying like all this just didn't happen, and we're not even here right now. Because that's what you're saying. If all this is God, then we didn't do what we just did. And that's the slippery slope that I'm talking about. Like, I'm saying this, and you guys probably think I'm a dick, but I'm trying to hold back tears because the shit it sounds so painful to me, and you might not understand why it's that painful to me, but it really fucking is, because I don't think a person, not necessarily a human, even if you're an alien from outer space or whoever, whatever, wherever you are, I don't think you should feel that way. I don't think you should feel that way, because you did it. And I saw you do it. I was there. You did it. It was you. You did it. You climbed the fucking thing. I saw you. You did it. And I mean, it's fine to believe in something. Obviously, everybody believes in something. Even I believe in a bunch of things. I'm the last person to talk when it comes to belief, because I believe in so many things. It's ridiculous, right? You wouldn't believe the things I believe in, right? So, but at the end of the day, it's like I don't think, let's say your father, let's say God was actually your biological father. Like, he had sex with a woman and you were born. Right? Your father is supposed to love you, right? Like, he's supposed to love you. I mean, like, he's happy that you're born. He's happy that you're born. He's happy that he was able to create life. He cherishes you, like you're like his treasure and shit, right? Well, for some people that would be the best case scenario. So, like, it's don't you think your dad like, the question I'm trying to bring up here, the interrogation that I'm trying to bring up in you is, if God was your biological dad, would he still ask you to give up your soul and to give up your spirit to him? Wouldn't your dad tell you how to be more spiritual and how to be more soulful? Because the thing is, the human mass consciousness has a problem with me, because I be making jokes all the time. I make jokes all the time, and I love music, and I be making jokes all the time. I love music. That's because I have a soul. It's not because I sit on the fence about things. It's because the music that I play, it's me. That's how I feel inside. It's not, I don't want to be Illuminati. I don't care about the people singing the song, more or less, some of the times. It's, the sound is me. The music is me. The lyrics, not really, but a little bit, yes. You know, because I'll be listening to some music and the lyrics be trash. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But sometimes it's the flow that the person uses that mesmerizes me, right? Like I'm mesmerized by the person's flow, and it makes me feel something, and it calls something out of me. It speaks to my spirit and my soul. That's why I be making these jokes. That's why I'm almost joking all the time. That's why I have a perception of life where I'm the devil too. So it's kind of normal for the devil to do devilish things. But that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. That doesn't mean I want to join the Illuminati. It's just, at the end of the day, like I said before, this is one of the things that I believe about the Illuminati. I think the Illuminati, there was a movie, the Illuminati knows a lot more than people think. And the Illuminati knows a lot more than the Illuminati knows. Because I'm starting to figure out that there's people behind the people that we see every day, like the celebrities and stuff like that. Look, those guys, the guys that we never see, the guys that we can't see, the guys that we don't know are actually running shit, right? These guys are way smarter. They have way more knowledge than people think they have. And it's not that people don't know enough. It's just, I'm talking about these guys, these backscene Illuminati dudes have knowledge on things that technically would be impossible for a human to know. I'm not human, so I know those things too. But it's not that I'm impressed, but sometimes I am. It's like there was this movie called Wanted. Great movie with John 30-minute pedophilia movie McAvoy. Right? This guy, and the thing is, it was a comic book. So I read the comic. I read the comic. I read the comic book. In the comic book, he's a supervillain. The guy he's a supervillain, right? And he learns how to become a supervillain. And he's a extremely capable hitman. And that's all. It's a great comic book. It's super fantastic. It's super fun. It's amazing. In the movie, though, you know, they run hits. But in the comic book, they run hits on superheroes. They kill superheroes, right? And it's fucking awesome. You know. Anyways, but you know, in the comic book, they go out. They're like hired by villains to kill heroes. That's what they do. That's their job, right? In the movie, and removing that from the movie is okay. I understand from a child standpoint that not every child wants to see a bunch of superheroes get killed, and not everybody would find that cool. It's not everybody's cup of tea, right? So it's normal if in the mass media that they would be like, man, we can't really, you know, make a movie where motherfuckers are just like popping the superheroes' heads off, bro. That's kind of crazy, you know. You know, I would have liked it. I think it would be fucking hilarious. But you know, whatever. You know, I'm a free mind. I'm a free thinker. I don't believe in polarities. I don't believe in polarities. I don't believe in being 100% good or 100% bad. I'm not in the middle, but I just don't believe in polarities. I don't like being 100% dark because that's blindness. Right? And I don't believe in being 100% light because that's also blindness. So you gotta be either light and then add some darkness, or you're either dark and you add some light, which is the yin and the yang. Right? That's the perfect equilibrium. So anyways, regardless, back to what I was saying. So this movie came out a couple years ago. I think it came out in 2008 or some shit like that. It might be even 2012. So there's in this movie, the way that they get hits is different. And there's a loom. If you don't know what a loom is, it's something you use to make clothes, to make to make clothes. I mean anything, you can make clothes, you can make anything, right? It's just it knits. It's like a knitting machine. It's an older ass knitting machine, right? And they have this room where there's like a bunch of looms in there. That's not in the comic at all. Not even close. That doesn't come from nowhere. That's called fate weaving. There's an old story about I think it's Greek, or it might be Roman. It might be a Roman story, but it's pretty old. And it's probably even older than that. What am I talking about? It's probably older than that. So this is this might even, no, this is after. No, this might be before Jesus, right? So there's this story about this loom, and this loom, weaves faith. So in this loom, you can see, the story goes as in this loom is always creating strands of life. So reality basically is a loom, and us, our idea, our consciousness, our movements, our actions, our history is all being siphoned through the loom and knitted together with everything else. So the loom just attaches life to itself, right? They put that in the movie. And that's how they collect names to kill in the movie, by using a loom. So where was I getting at with this? So I think on the subject, let's go back to motivation. I think people tend to give themselves up to the Illuminati inadvertently or on purpose. And yeah, I'm trying to remember where I was going with with the last thing I was saying. So people give themselves up to the Illuminati, and I feel it's for no reason. I mean, like you're these, like, let's say these people that created the loom, there wasn't, if the universe is a loom, it wasn't the Illuminati that created it. You see, today's humans, like I said, the Illuminati did a tremendous job brainwashing people, because unfortunately, no pun intended, no offense meant, right? But you're kind of in a lower frequency than you think you are. It feels like you probably feel like you're on a high frequency, but your frequency is not as high as you think it should be, man. No pun intended, no offense meant. And it's not necessarily your fault. It's not necessarily your fault. It's just the world is vibrating on a low frequency, and that's because of the Illuminati. We're vibrating on a very low frequency, so it's not necessarily your fault. So you're vibrating high, but you could technically vibrate higher. Technically, So it's imperative that we motivate people nowadays because people don't have that much confidence in themselves. And this is the reason why there's so much violence. Because somebody that's not confident results to violence. That's just facts. I'm sorry to say it, but that's true. A person that's not confident will result to violence. It's like you ever have a conversation with somebody that's like arguing with you about something that you know, and you're like telling him it's like this, blah, 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 and then you prove that you're smarter than him, and he's like, you want to fight, like he's ready to fight you because he don't know what to say anymore. It's a lack of confidence. Resulting to violence is a mind state, especially in a situation like that, especially in that kind of situation. Resulting to violence is a subject of you not willing to step down your ego and realize that maybe you were wrong, and to admit that you might not know enough in this conversation to hold this conversation with the person in front of you, and then you just result to violence because you don't want to lose. So it's a lack of confidence, because not being able to step down your ego is a show that you're afraid of what other people might think of you. Therefore, your vision of yourself is not high enough that you are not going to care about what another person thinks. I'm sorry to say it. And yes, I do resort to violence. I do resort to violence a lot, but it's not. Me personally, I don't think it's my fault. Me personally, I don't think it's my fault. I don't know what else to do, because I'm not gonna let somebody control me. I'm not gonna let some random asshole that I don't even know their names. I don't even know your first and last name control me. That don't make no goddamn sense. That don't make no goddamn sense. I don't fucking know you. I will fucking murder you, bro. If you try that shit again, I will fucking kill you, bro. Right where you stand. Don't ever fucking try to disrespect me like that by trying to control me, bro. I will fucking kill you. Seriously. Now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing, bro. Because I don't even know. At least if you know the person, and even if you know the person, that's not I don't care. Like, I'm not even gonna let my mom control me. I'm not gonna like even if my dad, my dad was a good person. I don't care that he's a good person. You're not gonna control me. I don't give a shit who you are. Because I am what's the saying again? I am the sailor of my own ship, or master of my own boat, or some bullshit like that. I don't remember. I am me, and I shall be me, regardless of what or who is out there. And if whatever is out there doesn't like me, well, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So I feel like people need more confidence like that. I feel like people need this kind of confidence, this kind of motivation, because it's like humanity is slipping away. Humanity is slipping away, and we're degenerating instead of evolving, more or less speaking. There's people that are evolving regardless of whatever I speak of, but it's not everyone. And just because some people are doing it, that doesn't excuse everybody else that's not doing it. I'm sorry to say, people, but that's just facts. Those people are doing good, that's great. But there's thousands and thousands, millions more that also needs to be on the level that these people are, more or less speaking. And right now, the Illuminati is doing a great job at subversing people's minds replacing consciousness with unconsciousness, man, and all kinds of matters and ways. And this needs to stop. This needs to stop. And it's not just because if it stops, you're gonna be a powerful god and entity, blah 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 blah. You'll be able to create your own planets just using your mind and stuff like that. It's just a good all around thing to believe in yourself. Like it's a mundane, monotone, take for granted fucking feeling that's normal to have. It's normal for you to believe in yourself. Absolutely normal. There's nothing wrong about you believing in yourself. Nothing. That can't be wrong. It can't. It can't. It can't. That cannot be wrong, bro. And if it is, well, you need to explain to me why that's wrong. Because I don't see it. I don't see what harm could possibly come out of you believing in yourself. There's nothing wrong with feeling beautiful. Even if you're ugly. Pause. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. I might not agree. You know, like I might not agree, but that's your business. And you're 100% in your rights to feel that way. And even if you meet me one day and I think you're ugly and you don't think you're ugly and I tell you that I think you're ugly, that's my business. That doesn't make me right. That actually makes me wrong. Because you're not ugly. You're just you. Like, you ever met a ugly person that's beautiful? I've met ugly people that are beautiful, man. I've met that, bro. Pause. I've met ugly people that are so beautiful inside you don't even see. You're not even aware that the person's ugly. But that person believes in themselves, though, because it takes a high amount of confidence to carry yourself that way. That person is not afraid to be themselves around other people. And the result is everybody's super impressed by them because they don't look like everybody else, or they have crippling disabilities and stuff like that, but they act like they don't have any disabilities. And because they act like they don't have any disabilities, you might forget that this person is in a wheelchair. And you forget to open the door and you're like, oh shit, sorry, man. I could have swore I saw you walking. You know, like I could have swore I saw you walking, man. I don't know I'm too high. I'm too high. My bad. And humanity needs that kind of confidence right now because this Illuminati shit is getting heavier and heavier, and people are ready to sacrifice their fucking children just so they could like stay alive, because there's this imaginary swinging axe of Damascus over their heads. They feel like there's some kind of axe that's gonna like people feel like they're inside of a guillotine. But the thing is, the guillotine don't exist. There is no guillotine, bro. It's all in your head. There's no guillotines. But people feel like there's a guillotine, so they're running for the hills. They're ready to sacrifice their children. They're sacrificing the next generation. They're doing all kinds of shit, just running around like a bunch of chickens with no heads on. Like they did get guillotined. You running around like you did get guillotined. You're not running around like you're afraid to get guillotined. You're running around like you did get guillotined, which is even worse. Where does that come from? Why you act like that? The reason why is because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you are right. You tell yourself that you are wrong more times than you tell yourself that you are right. So we got to stop doing that. We don't need the Illuminati. We don't need groups like the Illuminati, man. What you need is to believe in yourself. And then from there, we can work on things. But you need to believe in yourself first. So I'm going to stop the video right there. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.